everybody, it's me, Jamie. Happy to see you here on my YouTube channel, and I hope you're all ready to be creative. I've got an old piece of furniture that I'm going to do a little dry brushing technique on, and I wanted to show you how I do it. First, I'll show you my piece of furniture. I'm looking up so that you're looking down and can see the furniture. It's a unique, cute little old end table. It's seen better days. I actually have a pair. I have two of them. And I kind of want to keep the aesthetic of the old original charm of it. But it's veneer, and you can see right here, it's got some water staining, and it's not perfect. Let's just say that. It's far from perfect. So I'm going to try to do some dry brushing on it. Let me show you what I'm going to use for my paint and my brushes, first of all. I love Rust-Oleum paint products. Everybody has their own preference. I have to be careful because I've got the lid off. But this is a Rust-Oleum, one of those little tiny jars, like it's almost like a sample size jar. And I'm going to use almond color, which is kind of a beige, beige color. I wanted something to go with the dark wood because I do want some of this dark wood to still show through. So, all you need, paper plate, paint of your choice. Always have paper towels handy because you never know when you're going to have a spill or a drip, and I have a lot of them. I'm working inside on my craft table, and I have an old cheap vinyl tablecloth that I put down when I paint inside. And I'm painting inside because I live in Michigan, and today it's, 20 degrees outside or whatever. So, and I don't have a heated workshop to work in. So I work in my craft room in the wintertime, or outside if we get a weird, mild Michigan day. So you've got your paint of choice and color of choice. You've got a paper plate, and then you're going to need some brushes. And I like to use these really cheap, inexpensive craft brushes, and I use them over and over and over again. The bristles are kind of gnarly and gross, but that's okay. For dry brushing, that's kind of a good thing. You don't want a real smooth, silky brush. Otherwise, you're not going to get the patterning. I call it kind of like hash mark painting is what I call it. I don't know if there's a real name for it or not, but that's what I call it. So to start off, you're going to pour a little bit of paint just on one side of your paper plate, and I mean a little bit, because we can keep adding as we need it, but we don't need a lot to start. So here's where the paper towel comes in handy. Get your drips. I am going to start with the bigger of the two brushes. I have two different sizes, and I'm going to start with the big brush. So when you want to do a dry brushing technique, the whole point of it is to have your brush almost dry. You just want a little paint on your brush, and you're going to pull that paint across the furniture. And it's not meant to cover the furniture completely. So, hence dry brushing. So when you go to dab your paintbrush into the paint, don't lay it on its side and put it in. Keep your paintbrush straight up and down. Dab it a couple times like this, because now we're only getting paint on the very ends of our bristles, which is what we want. It's just on the ends. Then we want to get rid of most of it. So that's where you go back and forth on your plate like this, and we're getting rid of excess paint. You can do it on a paper towel, whatever you want, but you want to get rid of most of the paint. So now your brush, you can see the color, but it looks basically dry. And here's the key. Don't start your strokes with your brush straight up and down like this, because if you do, you're going to have a weird blob of paint, and then you'll have the dry brush effect. So you're going to want to lay your brush on the side, and when you lay it down, pull it all the way across until you're off the furniture, then lift up. Don't pull and stop right at the edge, because essentially if you stop at the edge, you're stopping the flow of your line, and you want that line to flow all the way off the furniture. So here we go for our first one, and you don't need a lot of pressure. So we set it down and we pull across. that showed up. I might have to do mine a little darker for you so that you can see it. Let me do again. We dab. Get some of it off. Here we go. I think you can see that. See, it's laying paint down, but very sparsely. And I'm pulling all the way through. It's a motion, like all the way through. And if it's not dark enough, pull all the way through the other way. And that's what I'm going to do across the whole surface of this table. And I just add paint when I feel like I need it. Dab it off. Pull it across like this. It's a very simple technique. It takes very little paint. I think it's starting to do freezing rain here. I can hear it clicking on the windows. So there I've gone all the way across my tabletop with dry brush strokes, essentially. I'm going to hit the edges because I want my whole piece to basically have a dry brushed effect. I'm going to go blind on this side because I can't see. Maybe I can see it in the camera. And I'm just going to show you, I'm not going to make you watch me do the whole piece. I just wanted to show you the start of it. So I'm looking at the top of mine right now, and I don't know how well you can see, but I want a little more brush stroke. So I'm just going to repeat. And I'm going to lay it down on an angle, and I'm going to pull it all the way across and off. All the way across and off. I'm making those strokes stretch out a little more. Flip my brush around because I'm sure I've got some paint on that side. It's a very easy technique. It's a great technique to do if you're low on paint. I like to use it because it disguises a lot of blemishes and flaws in old furniture, but it also lets the character and the aesthetic of the original old piece of furniture still show through. Sometimes I like to paint things all the way and cover them up, but this one in particular, I just really liked how it looked kind of, I don't want to say in the nude, but with a lot of the original showing. So now I've made my lines going horizontally. The crosshatch part of it is just exactly what you think. Now we're going to drag paint up and down vertically. And that's going to give you a little bit of that kind of cross-hatched appearance. It's not perfect. It's not like a tic-tac-toe board or anything. But it gives you a little bit of pattern, kind of. Basket weave, a little bit of a look. I hope you can, I'll try to zoom in on it when I get the top done. But I'm only going to do the top part on the video, and you can then take it from there and do as much or as little as you want on your furniture or your end table, whatever you're doing it on. Okay, so I like how that looks. I am going to try to carry some of the downward strokes on the edge, just so I'm a little bit of cross-hatchy all the way around. Again, I can't see this side, so I'm just going to go blind, hoping you're all right. All right, so that's how I do what's called cross-hatch dry brush technique. It's super easy. You really can't do it wrong. It turns out differently every time, which is fine. I have two pieces exactly alike, so I'm going to do this technique on both pieces, but obviously they'll both be a little different, yet enough the same that they still look like a pair. So just to recap, the things that you're going to need are paint of your choice and color, the just cheapy wood-handled craft brushes with the really kind of stiff bristles. And another little trick I'm going to tell you is if you get a brand new craft brush and it's not kind of like chewed up and some of the bristles aren't sticking together, to get this look, if you pinch your fingers like this, pinch the bristles in there, and take some manicure scissors or little scissors and make some little vertical snips, just tiny vertical snips in the brush, it'll get rid of some of those bristles and make it a little more uneven to give you a little better pattern. Sometimes people do that when they want to try to make a wood grain look as well. So you're going to have to hang on a second because my video setup is quite unusual. My camera is actually up on a shelf above me so that you could look down and see what the crosshatch was all about. And the only way I can get my camera is to climb up and get it. So you're going to watch me climb up and get my camera, and then I'll bring it down, and I'm going to zoom in on the top of this table so that you have a better understanding of what the crosshatch looks like close up. So here I go for my climb. Hope I don't fall. Good thing I'm nimble. Okay. There we go. Here I am. Just a second here, and I'm going to show you as best as I can what I'm talking about. Okay, there is the tabletop. And I'm trying to zoom in real close so you can see the crosshatch kind of a pattern. It's not perfect. It's different in every area of the tabletop. You can still see some of the brown wood, but it's totally disguised this area over here that was water stained. So that's what I mean when I say dry brush cross hatch type of a thing. Okay, now I'm going to bring you back up. So I have this whole piece of furniture to do ×2. It's a pretty cute little table. If you didn't see it, it's got some really interesting little cutouts and some nice detailed legs, and the fronts and sides, front and side are scalloped. So I'm going to do this over most of this piece, and I will hopefully like it when it's done, but that's what I'm going for. So I'm glad that you clicked and watched this video. Sorry, I'm just in a tank top because I'm old and I get hot flashes. Let's just be real. And I was getting warm. I thank you very much for watching my video. And if you would please subscribe and like at the bottom, that would be fabulous. And if you want, click on the little bell, and that will tell you when I post videos. That'll give you a notification that I posted a video for you to watch. So, again, this was dry brush cross hatching technique on Be Creative. So, I'll see you next time. Hope you have a great day, and I hope you try some of these techniques on some of your furniture. See everybody later.